Hello? Hello, this is Mrs. Smith, the wife of John Smith, is that correct?
Yes. Who is this?
I'm from the police.
The police?
I'm sorry if I startled you. It's easier to contact people by text message these days. That's why I'm texting you like this.
But why do the police know my contact information?
Don't underestimate the police, ma'am. We can look up a private number in a heartbeat.
Oh, I see. Then what can I do for you?
Put your hands up now.
Huh? It's kind of silly telling me to put my hands up by text message. Anyway, I didn't do anything.
It was your husband who did.
What?
Hand over the $5 million in diamonds your husband stole.
My husband?
That's correct. Last night, your husband broke into a jewelry store and stole $5 million worth of diamond jewelry. A police report was filed.
Oh no, you don't think my husband...
I know it's hard to believe, but it is a fact that your husband stole the jewelry. Security cameras caught him in the act.
No, that's definitely not my husband. Isn't this a case of mistaken identity?
No, his face was clearly visible. Some witnesses saw him running away. I'm sure it was him.
I'm afraid to say it, but...
Well, I'm sure it's terrifying. Your own husband committed a horrible crime.
Well, that's not what I meant.
According to eyewitness testimony, your husband fled in his car in the direction of your home. So the diamonds he stole must be hidden at home. If you return them now, we won't arrest him. Now give me the diamonds.
I don't care what you say. We don't have any diamonds.
Oh, you're defending your husband, aren't you?
I'm not defending him. My husband would never steal diamonds. If you say it's on the security camera, show me the proof.
I'm sorry, but I can't show you the data from the security cameras. I'm afraid we can't show it to outsiders.
Outsider? I'm his wife.
Anyway, rules are rules.
That's absurd.
Well, if you insist on not having the diamonds, I'll have to ask you to pay for them.
Huh?
Get me $5 million in cash right now.
$5 million is impossible.
Are you sure you don't want your husband arrested?
Yes.
You are the only one who can save him now.
But there's no way we can pay $5 million.
Then how about 100,000?
100,000?
The jewelry store owner said if you can get me 100,000 for the time being, he'll forget about the diamonds.
What? Is only 100,000 enough?
He went as far as the break into a jewelry store. Your husband must have been in financial trouble. The jewelry store owner is a generous man. He wants to give poor people a chance.
I see.
So, as long as he pays 100,000 at first, the store owner is willing to accept the rest in installments. What do you think? Even you can pay 100,000 right away.
I don't have 100,000 on hand.
Then go to the bank and withdraw the money. If you have it by tomorrow evening, I'll let you off the hook.
You're not a cop, are you?
What? I'm telling you, I'm the police.
You've been saying all kinds of crazy things. We stole $5 million worth of diamonds, and now you're asking for 100,000? Why are you contacting me, the wife, not him?
That's because we were able to get a hold of your information before we could find his.
Oh, my husband passed away 5 years ago.
What?
How does someone who's already dead steal diamonds? Was it my husband's ghost caught on the security camera?
Wait a minute, I didn't hear that your husband passed away.
Oh, you suddenly changed your tone. You're a fraud, aren't you? See, I knew it. You can't answer anything.
Damn it. Well, it doesn't matter now.
You lied about the $5 million diamond theft anyway, didn't you? Your goal from the beginning was to get the money, right?
That's right. As long as I get the 100,000, that's all that matters.
I'll call the police then.
What the hell?
What are you surprised at? You're a scammer.
It's not a scam, it's attempted fraud.
You just tried to cheat me out of my money, remember?
I haven't taken your money yet.
Oh, you're a con man. Don't you know that? You can be arrested for attempting to defraud me.
Well then, I have an idea.
What is it?
If you don't pay me the 100,000, Emma will get hurt.
Huh? Emma?
What are you babbling on about? It's your daughter, Emma.
My daughter.
That's right. Ha ha ha. Don't you care what happens to your only precious little daughter?
How do you know about Emma?
I know everything about you. Of course, I know where your house is.
Emma didn't do anything. Keep her out of this.
It's up to you to keep Emma safe. You know what happens if you tip off the police, right? If you want what's good for Emma, get the 100,000 ready right away.
You're a coward for taking advantage of my Emma. Human scum.
Whatever you say. You want your daughter to get hurt because you were stinging over a mere 100,000?
Well, no.
Emma will be taken far away. I'm sure she'll be in a lot of pain. Poor little thing, she's still so young.
Don't.
If you're her mother, you know what to do, don't you?
Okay, I understand. I'll give you the 100,000.
Alright, well said.
But please, just leave her alone.
Fine.
Then tell me where to transfer the money.
No transfers. Bank transfers are a bad idea, so I'll have you hand it to me in person.
Cash?
Yes, cash.
How do I give it to you?
Come to the parking lot of the convenience store in front of the mall tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. Text me when you get there. I'll tell you how to give it to me then.
Understood.
Hey, it's almost time for the meeting. Did you get the stuff ready?
I just arrived at the convenience store.
I see. You didn't tell the police, did you?
Of course not.
Did you get the 100,000 together?
I withdrew it from the bank this morning.
Good. Then you'll do exactly as I tell you from now on.
Yes, okay.
You'll see a white van parked at the end of the parking lot.
Oh, that's the car. Are you waiting for me in the car?
There's no one in the car. I can't let anyone see my face. But the car is unlocked. Open the back and put the cash inside.
I understand.
Just so you know, if you make the slightest wrong move, Emma's dead. You're surrounded by a bunch of my guys right now. They're keeping an eye on you. If you even make a move to call the police, someone will go after Emma right away.
I beg you, please don't touch Emma.
I won't do anything if you don't screw up. Rest assured. As long as you hand over the cash quietly, nothing will happen to either of you.
I just put the bag of cash in the back of the van.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna head to my car now. You get the hell out of here. Alright?
Yes, alright.
Hey!
May I help you?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Huh?
There was no money in the bag.
Huh? That's strange. I'm sure I put a wad of cash in there.
You've got to be kidding me. That's a wad of toy money, isn't it?
Oh, you figured it out?
You're a tricky one, aren't you?
How did you see through that?
Who would be fooled by that? I can't believe you went to the trouble of prepping a wad of toy money. Do you really have that much free time?
I just happen to have it at home.
That can't be true. Are you saying you always kept a wad of dummy bills?
Yeah, I always keep it by my side and look at it.
Huh?
Even if it's play money, if you keep it with you, it helps you with wealth attraction. My mother gave it to me as a gift. Today's toys are really well made, aren't they? Just looking at it makes you feel like a millionaire.
You idiot.
But it looked just like the real thing, didn't it? I got 100,000 worth. I'm sure you'll get lucky too.
You've got to be kidding me. Hey, is your daughter Emma home right now?
Yes, she's at home, but...
I'm going to your house now and I'm going to kidnap your daughter.
How are you going to kidnap my daughter? You can't go in there. The front door is locked.
I'm not just gonna ring the doorbell. I'll probably just smash through the window.
What? Are you really going to do that?
It's your fault for making me angry.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Are you saying that the police are in the house?
No, there are no police. I'm worried about you.
What are you talking about now? You're wasting your time trying to stall me like that. By the time you get home, Emma will be long gone. You'll regret teasing me.
Wait! It's dangerous, so don't touch Emma.
Huh?
You'll get your fingers bitten.
Huh? Bite? Is your daughter that rabbit?
She's not rabbit. Emma is a timid and quiet girl by nature. But if you startle her, she might bite.
Biting when startled? Your kid is that undisciplined?
It's impossible to discipline them. Emma is a piranha we keep at home.
Piranha? I thought she was human.
No, she's not a person. She's a fish.
How can a fish be your daughter?
I love her like she's my family. I'd even go so far as to call her my daughter.
Oh no.
So you're not going to hurt Emma. You'd better not do anything strange. You'll be the one who gets hurt.
I can't believe it was a pet. You gave a piranha a confusing name like Emma.
Speaking of names, you're Watson, right?
Huh? How did you know my name?
Oh, you are Watson after all.
You knew all along?
We went to the same college. You've known my husband and me for a while. I didn't think I'd be the victim of a scam by a mutual friend.
But how did you know it was me?
You're the only one of my husband's friends who had my contact information.
What the hell? I hadn't seen you for years, so I didn't think you'd find out.
I know you went to the trouble of sending me a message with a different ID. I knew all along.
How did you find out?
You knew about Emma.
Huh?
Only my family was supposed to know that we kept piranhas in our house. But my husband, before he died, he went out for a drink with you once, didn't he?
I think it was about 5 years ago, right before he passed away.
At that time, Emma had just arrived at our house. I didn't know what influenced him. My husband insisted on getting a piranha. Piranhas have a scary image. I was against it at first. But my husband's enthusiasm got the better of me and I went to the pet store and bought one. Then I found it surprisingly cute. My husband is usually quiet and doesn't talk much about his family. I guess he was so proud that she was his daughter.
Since you mention it, John was happy to have a cute daughter named Emma.
But my husband was diagnosed with a disease soon after he brought her home. He passed away in the blink of an eye. We didn't have any children. He loved Emma as if she was his own daughter. I'm sure my husband was disappointed too.
What's so cute about a piranha with such a scary face?
Well, most people wouldn't understand how cute Emma is. By the way, why did you try to take $100,000 from me?
I really needed the money.
If you need money, why don't you work and earn it yourself?
It's not that easy to earn $100,000. Besides, I wanted to get back at John.
Get back at him? Did my husband do something bad to you?
He was smarter than me.
What?
He was a good student, but he was a quiet, dull guy.
Well, yes.
I, on the other hand, was a total failure academically. But I was popular with women and I was supposed to be more successful than him in the future. But John got a good job at a good company and got married before me. And he even had a cute daughter.
She's a piranha though.
Shut up. I thought she was a human being until just now. While he's enjoying his life, I failed to find a job. I was making a living at a part-time job. I couldn't forgive myself for losing everything to him.
I see. I guess it's called male jealousy?
I didn't want to lose to him. I wanted to give him a good beating someday, so I decided to take his money.
But why did you call me the wife? You were only jealous of my husband. I had nothing to do with it, right?
I thought you were easier to fool.
Huh?
John is smart. I thought he'd easily find out it was me. But your grades were about the same as mine. I thought if I told you I was the police, you'd get scared and cough up the $100,000.
I've been taken for a fool too, haven't I?
And you've got a wad of dummy money. You're so clever.
I knew it was you on the other end. There's no way I'd give you $100,000.
How dare you make fun of me? We were friends in school. I never want to see your face again.
Speak for yourself. You didn't even know my husband was dead. Making up lies about diamonds or whatever.
Well, this time it didn't work out, so let's just forget about it. Forget about me. I'm leaving town. And you're never gonna see or hear from me again.
You're already surrounded by cops.
What? No way. There's a police car parked right in front of me. You call the police?
Of course. You tried to cheat me out of $100,000. I already called the police. You may not have noticed it, but before you even met me in the parking lot, your car was already marked.
Damn, you tricked me. You promised not to tell the police, to keep Emma safe.
You tricked me first.
But I kept my word.
So you're going to take Emma away? How? Hold her in your bare hands? Don't tell me you want the whole tank.
No, I don't want Emma.
Then you'll be a big boy and be arrested by the police.
Wait a minute. You know, it was $100,000 in fake money. Calling the police about stealing a lot of play money? That's going a little overboard, isn't it?
And by play money, it was a wad of cash that my mother gave me and I treasured. You took $100,000 worth of toys away from me. If my luck goes down, it's your fault.
It won't go down.
Besides, I told you before, you can be arrested for attempted fraud, didn't I?
Oh no, I don't want to be arrested.
If you didn't want to get caught, you shouldn't have done this in the first place.
That's the only way I could get my hands on $100,000 quickly.
Come to think of it, ever since you were a student, you've always had a tendency to want to have fun. You try to get results without hard work. You skipped class and copying my husband's reports. But if you think it's easy to get $100,000, you're wrong. If you have time to think about some stupid scam, then work hard and diligently.
I understand. I'm sorry. I'll work hard from now on. You're gonna have to help me.
What's the matter with you? You think if you apologize, I'll forgive you?
We're friends, right?
What? Friends?
We hung out together a lot when we were students.
That was a long time ago, not now. I wouldn't call a scumbag who tries to cheat me out of money, out of jealousy, a friend.
I apologize for trying to take your money. So why don't you call the police and convince them to let me go?
I can't.
Oh, come on, why not?
Well then, goodbye, scammer. I have no more use for you. I'll block you too.
Wait a minute. Oh no, a police officer is approaching me. Please help me. Oh my god.
Shortly thereafter, Watson was arrested. Why he was after $100,000 had always been a mystery to me. According to the police investigation, he had no regular job, but he had a serious gambling problem. He was in debt. The amount was a little over $100,000. He came up with the idea of committing this crime. The case was successfully solved though. I am so disappointed because he was an old friend of mine. I am sure that my husband in heaven feels the same way. I hope Watson will work diligently from now on. I would like to continue to live peacefully with Emma, the memento of my husband.
Susan, can I talk to you for a second? What? My friends are having a party for me because I'm getting married. I'm busy with that. Well, I'll make it quick then. Susan, you went into my room again without asking me. What's wrong with going into your room? It's not your house, so don't act like it is. It's not my house, but you come home every once in a while and check my room. Not only checking my room, but taking clothes and accessories every time. You haven't even returned the bag you took the other day. I bought that bag as a reward for myself, and it cost over $1,000. Huh? That bag was that expensive? I'm sorry, I had no idea. I used it on a rainy day and got all wet. I thought maybe it was no good anymore, so I threw it away. What? You threw it away? You'll have to pay for it. Pay for it? I don't have any savings. I'm sorry I threw it away, but I didn't do it on purpose. You don't feel bad at all, do you? You can't just say I'm sorry. What? I said I'm sorry, but you can't forgive me? You're mean. I've only used it once. Shut up! If you don't want me to come into your room, why don't you just get the hell out of the house? What? How long are you going to stay in my parents' house? I don't mean to. It's my parents' house too. Oh, wow. You really think so? What? Susan? That house is not your parents' house. It's my parents' house where I lived with my mom and dad, whom I love very much. And then mom got sick and died. I don't know why my dad married that woman just because he was lonely. My mom is the one in heaven. I don't even consider that woman my mother. I don't even consider you my sister who she gave birth to. I knew you didn't like me, but I didn't think you thought of me that way. After all, she cheated on Dad and went off with another guy. She's a real bitch. What? Cheating? Mom never cheated on him. Shut up! I know she did. I saw that woman cheating. That can't be true. You just should have left with your mom. but you are still there because Dad is nice. What a nerve. Thanks to Dad, you're able to live in that home. Stop making such a silly complaint just because I come into your room. You are not making sense. Anyway, I won't pay for the bag. Why don't you just lock the room? You're the one who's complaining. There's no lock in my room to begin with. Why don't you leave the house? How long are you going to stay there? You're just trying to save money on rent, aren't you? You're so lucky to be able to save money on rent and spend it on your own. I'm not living at home to save money on rent. If I leave home, Dad will be on his own, right? I do all the housework, and it's better for me to be there to take care of the living expenses too. Or are you going to pay for our living expenses? Are you stupid? I don't work. And I told you earlier that I don't have any savings, right? How am I supposed to pay for it? Dad feeds you, but you talk like you're the one taking care of him. Seriously? You're out of your mind. Maybe I should live in that house after I get married. Then I can kick you out? Susan, are you serious? Of course I am. I'll talk to my boyfriend right away. See you later. Hey, you took my clothes too. Make sure you return them. Susan, come on. Did you get the wedding invitation I sent you? Yes, I did. I marked attendance and sent it back today. Wow! In a way, it's amazing that you still want to come to the wedding even after all the sarcasm I've been giving you. I knew you were being sarcastic. Yes, because I don't like you. You're a hard ass at best, and you're dumb at worst. I know you don't like me, but even though we are half-sisters, we are family. That's why you invited me, right? You're really an airhead, aren't you? Well, okay. I'll leave it at that. I have a surprise for you on the wedding day, so look forward to it. What surprise? I don't need that. I'm planning this for you. Don't say that. I'm worried. Also, I'm excited about your wedding gift. I didn't want to compromise on the wedding venue, so I picked a nice place. If we don't get enough money from our guests, we'll be in the red. I don't think you should rely on money gift. Huh? What did you say? Never mind. I'm looking forward to the wedding then. Also, I have one more important thing to tell you today. Important? What's going on? We are thinking of living with Dad after we get married. I told you before, didn't I? I told my boyfriend about it, and he agreed, saying it would be great not to have to pay rent. So we want to move in. But you're in the way. What? Did you really mean what you said? Of course I did. Why would I lie about something like that? Can you support your father? And have you talked to him about it? Huh? Why should we support him? He should support us. I haven't talked to Dad about it yet, though. Of course he'd rather live with us than with that woman's daughter. Well, Susan, I think I explained it to you the other day. Mom was never unfaithful. It's your fault that she left. Huh? Was it my fault? You are talking nonsense. You're pissing me off. Well, I'm just telling the truth. Okay, now go ahead and get ready to move out. Enjoy the few remaining hours you have with Dad. Susan, what's going on? I just got to the wedding venue and the staff told me to leave because there was no seat for me. What the hell is going on? Surprised? Yay! What? This is what you meant, surprise? That's what I meant. Why aren't you letting me in? You gave me an invitation card. Because it would have been more shocking if you got all dressed up and couldn't attend than if you hadn't been invited in the first place, right? Why did you go that far? It's obvious. Because I hate you. I don't even consider you my family. You're a stranger, so get the hell out. Okay then, I'll cut you off. What? Because you don't like me, right? You don't even want me to be at your wedding. I'm just a stranger, right? That's why I said I'm cutting you off. Is there a problem? Not at all. I'm just a little surprised that you accepted so easily. This is great. You don't even get to live in that house starting today. What? What do you mean? I told you 2 months ago, didn't I? We are going to live in that house when we get married. And yet, you didn't seem to start packing at all. So today, I asked a friend of my husband's to go to the house and move all your stuff out. And he's going to put our stuff inside. What? Does our father know about that? I didn't tell him. You know, you can't let a stranger into a house without telling our father or me. You are committing a crime. That's rude. I'm a family member too. I give my permission to let his friend in, so it can't be a crime. You can't be serious. Why didn't you tell your father? Because if he disagreed, it would have ruined my plans. But I did tell him a while ago that I wanted to live with him. What did he say? He said he's living with Janet, so he doesn't want me to move in. Susan, he's already against it. But I think Dad would be absolutely delighted once we start living together. So, where are you going to move my stuff? I've rented a storage temporarily. I'll put it there for you. I'm so sweet, aren't I? Since we are cutting ties, take it as a final parting gift. But you have to decide where you're going to move to within a month and get it out. I won't pay for more than a month. You're so selfish. I have an idea. What can you do? Well, let's see what you can do. I'm looking forward to it. Janet, what the hell are you doing? You brainwashed my dad. What the hell did you say to him? Dad has decided to put the house on the market. He's going to live in a new house with you and your mom. So I need you to move your stuff somewhere else by the end of the week. Of course, I protested, but he said I put the stuff in the house without telling him. He also said, if you don't take it out by the end of the week, I'm going to turn you and your friends into the police. I can't believe you said that to me. You orchestrated the whole thing, didn't you? Don't say I orchestrated, will you? It's your fault for moving in without permission and kicking me out. Hey, what do you mean she's moving in with you? I asked my dad if he was still in contact with that woman. I also said, I won't allow you to have any contact with that unfaithful woman. He got really angry for some reason and wouldn't even talk to me. You know, I've explained this to you many times. Mom was not cheating. I heard that, but how can I believe that? I saw it. When she left this house, a man close to her age came to pick her up in front of the house. Normally, a cheater wouldn't come to the front door of the house without hesitation. I always hated that woman. From that day on, I decided I would never forgive her. That man is my mother's brother. What? You were so cold and rude to her. That's why she got sick. What? That woman? Yes. After talking it over with our father, they decided it would be better to place some distance between you two. So she decided to stay at my uncle's house. Mom said she could take the train to get there. But my uncle was worried that she has a mental illness and can't travel a long distance, so he came to pick her up. It was your fault, and yet you'd mistake it for cheating. I'm sorry I misunderstood. Then why didn't you just say so? He doesn't have to sell the house. I'm going to be nice to that woman, or your mother. I want to live with them, the four of us. You know, Mom has been undergoing treatment, and she is finally getting better. I will never allow her to live with you. Huh? Why do you say that? Susan, can you support Mom and Dad? What are you talking about? Dad should support me. I don't know what you mean by support them. You don't know anything. Dad hurt his back a few years ago. He quit his job then because he thought he was too old. What? I didn't know that. When you came to visit, he said he told you about it. What? You are so selfish. You never listened to anyone else. Then how can he move into a new house? He can't sell that old house at a good price, can he? Your mom doesn't have much savings, does she? She has been sick. I think I told you that I do all the housework and pay the bills. You weren't listening then either, were you? I think you did, but I don't believe you. I thought Dad was supporting you. Is it really true that you're the one who's supporting him? How can you afford to buy brand name bags and pay the bills? You're a regular office worker, right? I used to be. I wanted to make a lot of money, so I had a side job for a long time. I was always good at computers. I've been making apps for fun since I was a student. After I started working, I turned it into a side job. But the apps became so popular that I couldn't keep up with it. I took the plunge and quit my day job to start my own business. Thankfully, I had a clientele to begin with, so I was able to get off the ground right away. Now I make about $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year? You do? That's right. That's why I was paying all the bills. I was also sending money to my mother. She couldn't just live in my uncle's house for free. I can work from home so my hours are flexible, so I do all the housework. I can't make our father do it because he has a sore back. So you're paying for the new house? Yes. You seem to think I'm wasting money. I only treat myself when I get a big job. I've always wanted a house, and I've been working hard to save for one. My parents' house is getting old, and I always wanted to build a house for them. I decided to take this opportunity to build a barrier-free house. Luckily, my parents' house is old, but the land is big and is in a good location. We could sell it for a good price. When I told my uncle about the situation, he said that until the house is built, he would let me and my father live with him. I took him up on his offer and decided to stay with him until the house is built. So we're putting the house on the market. So please get your stuff out of there as Dad says. Oh no! Then what are we supposed to do? Well, you're still young. Why don't you work? Oh no! I don't want to work. And my husband is good looking, but his salary is low. That's why I wanted my dad to take care of us. We're old enough to take care of our parents, and you still want them to support you? When the house is finished, let us live there. I think it would be fun if the 5 of us lived together. No, thank you. We've already broken off our relationship, haven't we? But you're being too self-serving. Dad says he doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. Even if the house is finished, I won't tell you where it is. Oh no! I'm sorry. I apologize. From now on, let's be sisters and get along. I don't want to, because you are a half-sister. That is, a stranger. I just repeated what you told me before. Bye. Janet! Don't call us strangers! We are sisters! My father and I blocked my sister's contact information. After that, I also changed my cell phone number so that she could never contact me. But I don't know how she found out. She learned my uncle's address and came inside the apartment. However, his apartment has a good security system. My sister, who was acting suspiciously, got caught by the supervisor. She was calling me and my father's name repeatedly, and the superintendent contacted me. I explained the situation and told him to ask her to leave as we are strangers now. I also told him that if she didn't leave, he could call the police. My sister got disappointed and left the apartment. My mother is in good shape because my sweet uncle took care of her. I was really relieved to see her as a cheerful and kind mother she used to be. Next month, our house will finally be completed. I can't wait. I'm planning to have my uncle, who has been so kind to us, come visit us. I still want to take good care of my mother and father, so I want to continue to work hard and earn money. I am secretly planning to go on a family vacation with them.
Emmy, when will you pick me up? You are 3 minutes late. Caroline, do we have any plans for today? I'm going to the movies today with a friend, and we will eat dinner afterward. I told you to pick me up at the station at 9 p.m. Don't tell me you forgot. Oh, about that. I told you I can't pick you up before. I have a 2-year-old daughter. I can't just leave my child and pick you up. Huh? What are you saying now? Usually, you force my son to take care of your daughter, and you're making a fuss about work, aren't you? And now you use your daughter as an excuse? What are you saying? I'm working from home and taking care of my daughter at the same time. I don't force my husband to take care of her. That's a lie. If you want to raise your daughter properly, you should be a full-time housewife. You are insane if you're still working after becoming a mother. A woman is supposed to stay at home, give birth, and raise the children. I know that you hold traditional views, but in today's world, it's common for both parents to work. Women have other roles too, besides raising children. We'll take care of our daughter and work together. So please don't meddle in our family matters. Oh my God! What did you say? You make him do the child care too? Yes, we take care of our daughter together. Don't tell me you make him do the cleaning and laundry too. We share the household chores too. Steven used to work in a restaurant and he's a good cook. He cooks dinner for me when he doesn't have to work late. I have a very helpful husband and I'm so thankful for it. Jesus Christ! I'm sure he regrets having a useless wife like you from the bottom of his heart. A useless wife? Yes, it's you, a useless wife. You don't take care of your daughter. You don't do housework and you don't cook. You don't even have respect for your mother-in-law. His brother Kevin got a nice, homely, modest wife. It's so depressing that Steven is stuck with a bratty, foul-mouthed, useless wife. You and Steven should get divorced right now. I see. I'm not getting a divorce and I can't even pick you up. Please take a cab or the subway home. Whatever. I don't have a choice. I'll give you a break today. Next time, I'll thoroughly give you a lesson on how to be a good wife, so be prepared. Hey, Caroline. This morning, you suddenly showed up at our house and started going through things, right? The babysitter told me about it. What's the deal with that? I hadn't gotten the money from the last time yet, so I went to get it. But I couldn't find the cash or the wallet, so I ended up taking that designer bag from the closet. Can you please give it back? Even though you are a mother-in-law, going in without asking and taking stuff? Do you really think that's okay? Oh my God, do you think I'm a thief? Steven gave me a spare key, you know. Giving a key means it's cool to drop by anytime, right? When we bought the house, we gave you a key, but it was meant for emergencies, not an invitation to steal stuff. I don't recall saying anything like what you said. I didn't steal. I considered it payment for the taxi fare I lent you last time. Huh? taxi fare? Wait, are you talking about the night out with your friend? Exactly! Because you didn't come to pick me up, I had to take a taxi home. So, it's only fair to ask you for the taxi fare, right? I would have asked you directly if you were there, but since you weren't around, I reluctantly took the bag. I don't get what you're saying. I already told you I couldn't come to pick you up from the start. Here we go again. Excuse me? You said you were too busy taking care of your daughter and couldn't come pick me up. When I went to your house today, you had a sitter taking care of your daughter. What the hell is going on? I have to go to the office once a month for a meeting. That's the only day I ask the sitter to take care of my daughter. Then, why didn't you call your sitter last time? There's no reason for that. I'm your mother-in-law. You should respect me. If you get a sitter for a work meeting, you should get a sitter when I ask you to pick me up too. I don't understand your logic. Also, I heard that you said some weird things to my daughter and made her cry. What were you thinking? Oh, that. It wasn't anything weird, okay? I told her that her mom doesn't want to raise her and that she's an irresponsible mom. Why are you saying that? She's only 2 years old. I don't want to hear it from you, who leaves a 2-year-old child behind and goes to work. If you don't want to raise her, you should put her in an orphanage. How dare you? If you don't want to do that, then be a full-time housewife. You can't even take care of your own kid, even though you're the wife. I really can't stand that a woman like that is Steven's wife. I don't care if you can't stand it. This is between our family. Important things will be decided within our family. Also, I'll talk to Steven and change the locks on the house. I've had enough of you. Well, why don't you do as you please? Then I'll do as I please. I don't care about the bag that you took anymore. In return, please stay out of our lives. I'm sorry. I was planning to teach you how to mop as part of how to be a good wife training, but my hand slipped and I accidentally splashed a bucket of water on you. What do you mean by that? You suddenly barged into my working room and out of nowhere you threw water at me. I can't believe you did this. I changed the front door lock and haven't given a spare key to you. So, how did you manage to get in? I borrowed it from Kevin. Steven's brother? Oh, we did give Kevin a spare key for emergencies. Kevin and his wife are also victims of your harassment, so I thought they would sympathize and cooperate. And after discussing it with Steven, we thought it was a good idea. But somehow it turns out like this. You got completely fooled. You're so dumb. What? Kevin is my dearest son, you know. I raised him strictly because he's the eldest. He's nothing like Steven, who disrespects his parents. Even in choosing a wife, he listened to me. Finding a meek and obedient wife. Kevin and his wife would do anything for my sake. They probably staged that act to deceive you and get a spare key. What? So, Kevin was on your side from the beginning? I've been fooled. Well, having such a clever eldest son is a relief. You and Steven should learn from them. I'll educate you until you become obedient to me. I can be very strict, you know. If you're whining over a little water, You won't be able to handle what's coming next. A wife who can't do anything isn't worth living. So, I'll drill into you the essence of being a full-time housewife. First, quit your job. With your level of intelligence, there's no job you can do at home, right? So, just quit that pointless job. I see. Okay, then. I'll fire the person who is doing that pointless job. What do you mean? Are you firing yourself? No, it's Kevin who will be fired. What? What are you talking about? Why is Kevin being fired? You don't have that kind of authority. Then, who has the authority? I'm the president of Kevin's workplace. What? Kevin got scolded for being informal with clients, and there are numerous complaints about his conflicts with superiors and colleagues. But he apparently just switched from a toxic company. When I met him off work, he seemed very kind, so I wanted to observe a bit longer, but it turns out his kindness was an act, and he didn't even know who the president of his own company was. You're Kevin's company president? That can't be true. Being a woman with a child, you shouldn't be a president. It's common sense for women to protect the home while men work outside. A company led by a woman won't succeed. We aim to eliminate such biases and discrimination and strive for gender equality, allowing people to work in a style that suits them. That's our company's stance. Personally, I have a 2-year-old daughter, so prioritizing childcare, caregiving, and other personal matters. We need highly skilled individuals who can still deliver results at work. Kevin never mentioned you are the president. My exceptionally talented son works in a company led by a woman? I can't believe it! I'm surprised that he didn't know about it either. When we spoke last time, he seemed very polite. And since I mostly work remotely, we didn't have many chances to meet at the office. But knowing the president's name is common sense, isn't it? Oh, sorry, is this another prejudice? Employees should naturally know their president's face and name. It's rude for someone at such a low level not to know, right? Sorry, I'll correct myself. Are you making fun of my son? Yes. Oh my God, stop it! I won't tolerate my son being fired. He can't be fired for such a stupid reason. What reason are you talking about? Just because I threw water at my daughter-in-law. It's stupid that my son gets fired because of that. Well, that did annoy me, but that's not the direct reason for his termination. What? I mentioned earlier that there have been complaints about Kevin's work attitude, right? In addition, what was decisive was giving the key to you. What's wrong with that? It's a matter of information leakage. He just gave the key to his mother. What information did he leak? Tell me. Well, not only the front door of our house, but you also opened the door to my working room, right? Of course. I brought a bucket of water from home to teach you a lesson. But your room was locked, causing me trouble. And I remember he gave me 2 keys, and luckily one of them was the key to your room. When I gave the key to him, I told him not to lend or give it to anyone due to confidential work information. Even though I work from home, my office is like the president's office, so there's confidential information that shouldn't leak, so I usually lock the door. Except for my 2-year-old daughter, I don't allow my family to enter my room. However, he gave the key to you, seemingly attempting to deliberately leak information. Well, he didn't know you were the president. It can't be helped, right? Do you think such an excuse is acceptable? Of course, my son did nothing wrong. That's what you think. I just called the HR department and they've sorted the things out. Unfortunately, your son has lost his job. What? He's fired just like that? The official notice will come later, but he doesn't have to work starting tomorrow, so please inform him. Your strict discipline is the reason why he ended up like this. Hold on! I can't tell him that! What will Kevin think if he finds out? If you can't say, that's fine too. The termination is confirmed, and whatever you did, it won't change anything now. It's not officially decided yet, right? I apologize for throwing water. Can you forgive me? Oh, speaking of water, thanks to you who poured a bucket of water into my office, my work PC and equipment got damaged. So, we'll be making a compensation claim on behalf of the company. What do you mean? You're demanding money? Of course. You can replace the equipment with new ones if you'd like, but some are purchased from specialized vendors, so I don't think an amateur like you can replace all of them. So, yeah, I think it'll easily exceed $10,000, but we'll calculate it officially later and send you the bill. $10,000? Oh, and please pay it all at once. There's no way I can pay for that. Then borrow money or whatever it takes to pay. Well, I'll start calculating the damages now, so... Wait a moment, please. Okay, I understand. It's about the designer bag from the other day, and you're upset, right? What? I admit it was expensive compared to the taxi fare. I got a bit greedy. I'm sorry. I'll return it, so please don't fire my son. I don't need that kind of bag anymore. I'll give it to you now, but in return, please pay the compensation properly. I'll pay. It can't be helped. But please go a bit easier on me. I can't afford to pay $10,000. Oh, and please return the spare key. And please never involve with our family ever again. Don't say such things. I'll go to your house now and apologize, so please don't fire my son. After that conversation, Caroline came to my house and apologized. However, at that moment, Stephen, who heard the incident, left work early and came home. Stephen got furious with her, and he decided to cut ties with her and told her to never get involved with us again. He also ensured that she promised to pay the full compensation for my company's equipment all at once. Since she insisted on returning the bag, I told her to sell it and use the money towards the compensation. Kevin, who got fired as expected, erupted in anger at his mother and went rampage. Caught up in the commotion, Kevin's father and wife exploded from years of stress, angrily confronted their spouses with a divorce, succeeded in kicking them out of the house. Caroline took out a loan and paid the compensation all at once. Later, when she hit a rough patch financially and tried reaching out to friends, it turned out all of them somehow sensed the trouble, yet not a single one offered any help. Now, Kevin is back in a toxic company where he used to work. Caroline is working part-time, living in an incredibly frugal life to pay off debt.
Hi, Jamisha. I just got your message. I finally took my lunch break, so sorry that I'm late. Are you having your lunch break now? What a nasty company. I'm sorry to hear that you have to work like a slave. That's not true. Lunch for the residents is our priority. So for the staff, our lunch is always served at this time. To be honest, I don't really mind. By the way, how can I help you? Oh, yes. What's with that bad lunch you made? Bad lunch? I made some sandwiches and soup today. I can't eat that. The ingredients are so bland. The seasoning is thin and the bread is a bit hard. Are you going to make me eat something that tastes so bad every day? I think there was nothing wrong when I made it since I tasted all of them. But sorry if I disappointed you. Don't make excuses. It must have tasted bad when you made it, since it tastes this bad. You didn't do your best because it was my lunch, right? No, that's not true. When are you going to get better at cooking? Well, I can't expect you to do that if you're always dealing with old people every day. Jamisha, please don't talk like that. Cooking has nothing to do with my current job. You have to work feverishly because of your low income, right? If you're like that, you'll get tired and cut corners on the housework. I'm not cutting corners. How can you say that after serving me that terrible lunch? If you don't want me to complain, you should make a better dish. You're so annoying. I think you've gone too far, Jamisha. I thought you'd be a better wife, but in fact, you are really useless. I wonder why my son decided to get married to you. This is just unacceptable. Why don't you learn about how to do household chores properly before concentrating on your work? I'm not useless. Besides, I'm not a servant nor a slave. How dare you talk back to me again? Looks like talking back to me is the only thing you're capable of doing. You're no better than a housekeeper or a slave. I can't believe you just said that. You're being too harsh. If you feel that way, you should take your housework a little more seriously. You have no right to talk back to me, Amelia. Yes, I understand. Jamisha, I just saw your message. What's wrong? Oh, Amelia. Actually, the clothes I had ordered from the department store are arriving today. Can you pick them up after work? Today? Yes, because they arrived today. The department store is in the opposite direction, and the cars will be crowded during the rush hour when I'm about to go home. Can I do that on my day off? What? I called you because I wanted you to get it today. Why can't you understand that? If I go to the department store, I'm sure I'll be home late today. I don't want you to come home late. I mean, if you do that, dinner will be served late too. My son will get hungry when he arrives home. I know. Please wait until my day off. I'll get the clothes for you. Huh? Are you trying to take away my fun? What? It was a dress I really wanted, and they didn't have it in my size when I visited the shop, so I had to order it. I was so looking forward to receiving it. I'm sorry to hear that, but I have to go shopping for dinner. If I go to the department store, I'll be late. That's enough. I won't ask you anymore. You're really useless no matter what I ask you. I'm sorry. Don't worry about dinner. Just go get me some clothes. What? But then, who's gonna prepare the dinner? Landon and I are going to go eat Chinese food nearby. Are you talking about the fancy restaurant near here? Yes. Is it bad? No, it's not bad. But isn't it a little overpriced? That restaurant is for some special occasion. I'll buy you a takeout meal to eat right away. Oh, are you worried about the money? To be honest, yes. I can understand that because you're an incompetent person with low income. But don't worry. My son, unlike you, is super bright. What do you mean? As you know, Landon graduated from a prestigious university. He also got a job at a well-known company in our hometown. He's in good hands, so you don't have to worry about money. An incompetent wife like you should just shut up and do as you're told. That's not true. As a matter of fact, Landon is... Stop nagging me. Why do you always talk back to me? Can't you even say yes once in a while? Anyway, go get my clothes. Did I make myself clear to you, Amelia? Yes, Jamisha. As you wish. Hi, Jamisha. Sorry I'm late to reply again. What is this picture you sent me? It's a credit card bill. I wonder why you ask me such a stupid question. Nothing more than that. I understand that, but why are you sending me this? Because I want you to deposit money. Can't you even understand that? Why do I have to deposit the money? Because it's my order. Wait a minute. There's no way I can deposit $2,000. Why not? In the first place, what did you use that money for? Well, various things. What do you mean by various things? Do I even have to give a breakdown to you? I used that for buying clothes, lunch with friends, and for the Chinese dinner the other day. By the way, I wonder if it also includes the cost of that overnight trip I took with a friend the other night. You spent all of that money alone? That's right. To stay young forever, you need to invest in yourself. So you're talking about self-investment. It's just a luxury expense, isn't it? Luxury expense? That's rude. I can't pay $2,000 for your overly extravagant purchases. I'm sorry, but you will have to pay for it yourself. Huh? What are you talking so cheekily about? You're relying on my son's income to pay your bills. You have a low income from an incomprehensible job. But you're being so pompous and arrogant. I beg your pardon? If you can't pay my credit card bill, why don't you change your job? Try to find a job that pays a little better. I don't have a low-income job. And about your son's income? Shut up! How much more are you willing to go against me? You can't even do a single household chore. I'm not talking about housework now, am I? I can't pay what I can't pay no matter what you say. If you say you can't pay for this, then get out of this house. Excuse me? No matter how good my son is, you're relying too much on that boy's income. Anyway, I'm the boss in this house. Go and deposit the $2,000. If you refuse, I'll have you leave this house. Oh no, I'll talk to my husband about this. Amelia, did you give me a call a while ago? I did. Where are you now? I had to take care of something. You shouldn't waste your time, Landon. If you've got the time, maybe you should go into the field and study. Yeah, I'll do that starting tomorrow. So, what is it? Your mother asked me to deposit $2,000 into the account. $2,000? For what? Apparently, it's the money she spent on shopping and fun. She paid everything with credit card. Really? That's so typical of her. What do you mean? We can't afford to pay $2,000 that your mother spent on fun right now. You should talk to your mother first. But it won't do you any good even if I tell my mother. My mother is a person who thinks that whatever she said is absolute. We don't have time for jokes like that. I know, but... Besides, your mother thinks of me as a slave. Wait, Let me correct that. She said I'm less than a slave.
Seriously? She might be right about that.
What? I work full-time and do all the housework. I'm neither a slave nor less than a slave. I'm doing my duty as a wife.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you? In my house, my mother's word has always been absolute.
I'm being treated so harshly and unreasonably. Are you telling me that you won't defend me?
What's the point of defending you? My mom's right anyway.
I don't think that's the point. You're my husband, right? Tell her that we can't pay for her credit card bill, okay?
I don't want to do that. Mom's gonna talk me out of it anyway. If you really can't pay, why don't you tell her?
Huh? Why should I do that? She's your mother, right? I think you should tell her exactly what's going on with you right now, too.
Give me a break.
That's my line. Anyway, you should tell your mother about the $2,000. I'm sure your mother won't be listening to me.
Okay. Hey, Amelia, did you deposit the $2,000?
Jamisha, me and my husband can't deposit that money.
Huh? How incompetent are you? Are you incapable of doing what I say?
Because that money is mostly for your entertainment expenses. It's not money we need to live on, is it? Why should we pay such money? I just can't understand it.
You can't even do the housework and you only have a low-income job. You should pay that much since you're being such an incompetent wife.
No matter how you look at it, that's the money you should be paying.
How much more of a useless wife can you be? What I say is absolute in this house. My son grew up learning that.
I told him that you want us to put $2,000 in the bank account.
I know. He told me too. It sounds like you've been bad-mouthing me a lot, huh? That I'm treating you like a slave? You want him to tell me that you can't deposit the money, right?
Did he say it like that?
Landon trusts me. In this house, what I say is absolute. You are no better than a slave if you are always rebelling and disobeying me.
I'm not your slave.
I'm sure my son is annoyed because you're like that. Your expression always speaks loud.
Is he complaining so much about me?
Isn't it obvious? I'm sure he regrets marrying you since you're such an incompetent person. After all, Landon is a good boy who is capable and obedient to me. I'm sure he feels that marrying you is a hassle.
I don't think it's a hassle. Is that really what he thinks? I work and do all the household chores by myself. Why would he feel that it's troublesome?
Huh? How dare you say that you are doing the housework properly? I didn't think you were such a brazen wife. Then I guess I'll have to ask you to divorce my son.
Divorce?
Yes. We don't need an incompetent wife who does nothing but rebel against her mother-in-law. I want Landon to leave you immediately. You were the wrong wife for this house. I'm going to find a new wife for the sake of my son and family.
So, you're telling me that you want a wife who doesn't work and is good at housework. I see. I understand. But even if that works for you, I wonder if Landon will agree with that.
You don't have to worry about that.
That's not how it works. You are too harsh.
Stop blabbering nonsense. I'm asking you so much and you're reluctant to even pay my credit card bill? You are a lousy wife. Honestly, I can't deal with you anymore.
What?
I'm going to ask Landon to write the divorce papers, and I need you to sign your name on the form and turn it in.
I've never discussed divorce with my husband, but you still want us to get a divorce?
Yes, I do. I know that Landon agrees with me. So, I want you to pack up your stuff and leave today. Is that clear?
Okay then.
Amelia, I need to ask you something.
What is it? I already cut ties with you, so I have nothing to do with you.
That's not important. Can you explain why my son is fired from his job? He said that you fired him.
Yes, you're right. Your son was fired by me.
Huh? What do you mean?
I've been telling you that I have a proper job, but you didn't listen to me.
I don't remember you telling me that. You've been working a low-income job for a while now, haven't you?
I'm a caregiver.
I know what that is. It's not a lucrative job.
Our work is not lucrative or unprofitable.
That's why you keep doing that job to keep yourself afloat.
I'm on the front lines of caregiving myself, but I'm also the manager of a facility.
What? You mean you're the president?
I don't really like the term president, but I guess that's what it means.
You're kidding, right? I can't believe you're the president. And why should you fire a good boy like Landon?
You don't know anything about him.
What are you talking about?
Your son was fired from his previous company too.
Fired? When was that?
About 2 months ago.
What? Why was he fired?
He was very unprofessional at work.
That must be a mistake. My son is a good man.
But it's true that he was fired. He was absent without notice, harassed other employees, and even violated the company rules.
I can't believe he did that. So you're saying that he has been unemployed for the past few months?
Yes, that's right. I told him many times to look for a job, but he didn't want to move on his own. When I suggested him to work at my nursing home, he said he'd do his best, so I offered him the job.
You gave him a job offer, but in the end you fired him?
Yes, I did.
How could you do such a terrible thing?
Your son used the privilege of being my husband to access the facility's office. He was stealing money from the safe under the watchful eye of the staff.
No kidding. There's no way my son would do such a thing. It's just a story you made up, isn't it?
I'm telling you the truth. The clerk insisted that the books didn't match the cash, so I was trying to figure out why. I checked the security camera in the office just to be sure. I found footage of your son opening the safe and taking the money. I fired him immediately.
Oh no, there's no way that boy would do something like that.
He was fired from his last job, but he wasn't even looking for a job. Also, he was away a lot. Apparently, your son was addicted to gambling.
Gambling?
Maybe he thought it was just a change of pace at first, but he had too much time on his hands, so he got more and more addicted. By the time I realized it, he had used up all my savings. But he still couldn't quit gambling, and it seems he was stealing money from my company. It's theft, isn't it?
Theft?
Or maybe it's embezzlement since he was betraying me, whom I trusted, and stealing from me. I'm now discussing with my lawyer about your son.
Oh no. Does that make my son a criminal? You are the president of the company, aren't you? Do something about it.
There's no way I can help your son, because your son's theft was caught on the security camera. The entire staff knows about it. I can't just pretend I don't know about it.
So why don't you just take advantage of your privilege as president?
Why should I do that? As a business owner, I should never do that.
Are you telling me that you don't care about what happens to my son?
Because it can't be helped. He's the one who's responsible for his own bad behaviors. Or are you telling me that your son can't even make his own decision?
I don't think so.
Besides, even if he had gotten a job with us as planned, he'll be fired anyway.
Why?
Because of absenteeism, power harassment of other employees, and violations of the company rules. He was fired from his previous job because of the same reasons.
I don't think someone like him can just change his behaviors in a short period of time. I think your education must have been a problem too. Huh? Is it my fault? I raised my son diligently. That's why I brought up an excellent son. Your excellent son is absent without permission most of the time. He's also harassing his coworkers. Besides, he embezzled from the company. Is that what you call an excellent son? That can't be true. Then what's going to happen to that boy? We'll probably have to sue him for embezzlement. We're talking with our lawyer in that direction. So the police will get him too? I guess so. Besides, I'll also charge him alimony for the divorce. He didn't even bother to search for another job after he quit his last job. He wasn't willing to help me when you bullied me. He embezzled money by taking advantage of the fact that his wife is the president of the company. There's no reason I can't charge for the alimony, right? He's your ex-husband. You must give him a little preferential treatment. I refuse. He's the one who was so oblivious when I asked for help. By the way, your credit card bill of $2,000 will be charged to you. Don't forget about that. Well, I guess I should use my son's savings. Huh? Don't you understand what I just said? Your son has used up all his savings while he was unemployed. I'm sure he's penniless now. No way. That's why I told you to deposit the money. You've got to be kidding me. Why should I pay you with the money I worked so hard for? I don't get it. I've had enough. Oh no. What's going to happen to my son and me now? You just need to be prepared for the worst. I think it's the result of treating your son's wife like a slave and spending as much as you want. Because your son was raised by you who seems to lack common sense. I think he might have had something important as a human being distorted. In a way, he is a victim of your education. What a terrible thing to say. I've lived with you as your mother-in-law and you don't even want to help me? There is no way I owe you anything after being treated so terrible like that. I will never speak to you or your son again. Please do not contact me ever again. If you ever come near me, I will report you to the police without hesitation. So please be prepared for that. Are you serious? Please help us. Absolutely not. Please think about what you've done. Besides, I'm no longer married to your son. I will block your number too. Amelia, please! Don't abandon me and my son! After that, I filed a claim for alimony against my ex-husband through my lawyer. Also, he was found guilty of embezzlement in my company and was fined about $5,000. However, my ex-husband, who could neither pay the alimony nor the fine, had no choice but to ask his relatives to pay it on his behalf. Because of that, now their relatives are giving them cold shoulders. The relatives also said that they will cut ties with Landon and his mother after the payment. Now they're renting a small apartment on the outskirts of town. Seems that they are also feeling ashamed of themselves. My ex-husband, who has not been able to find a regular job, has been working several part-time manual labor jobs. Jamisha is also working part-time as a cashier to make ends meet. Even so, it seems that they can barely make it through a month. Anyway, serves them right. As for me, I'm still working as a caregiver. I really want to devote myself to nursing care work, where I have direct contact with the residents. I've entrusted my father with the responsibility of being the president of my company. I want to continue doing my best to bring smiles to the faces of as many residents as possible.
Addison, I want you to divorce Ryan. Excuse me? What do you mean, Tessa? You're incompetent and not suitable for my son. Leaving him behind to go on a vacation? Vacation? Oh, do you mean my business trip? I'm currently in China for work. Stop using that excuse. I know you're there for fun. It's a business trip, not leisure. If you doubt it, feel free to check with my office. Your office? You pretend to be a professional while you're just a high school grad. So blatant. Pretend or not, I am a professional. You're married and became someone's wife. It's distasteful and rude to still be working. That part of you has always irritated me. But what's truly despicable as a wife is leaving your husband behind for a trip. Absolutely unacceptable. I don't know where to start correcting you. It was a mutual decision between us to keep working. He's on board with it. He knows about the business trip. He even encouraged me before I left. Anyway, you found out about it from him, right? That's right. He said you'll be in China for about half a month. He was lamenting that he had to work and take care of the house at the same time. Lamenting? Of course. How dare you make him do household chores? You're far from being a good wife. You're a low-educated, dim-witted trash. He regrets marrying such a lazy person. Is that why you're telling me to divorce him? Obviously. I advised him to leave you, but my kind-hearted son said it was too painful for him to ask you for a divorce. I'm going to get rid of you on his behalf and set him free. Understood. Well, perhaps it might be best to set him free. Oh, so you do realize you're a terrible wife, huh? Great, let's cut to the chase then. Divorce him right now. No, that won't happen. OMG, what are you saying? Are you making fun of me, despite being a high school grad? What I mean will be clear to you soon enough. My colleague is calling me, so please excuse me. If you're like that, fine by me. I've got plans of my own. You're going to regret making a fool out of me.
Hey, honey. You got weird messages from my mom, right? Sorry about that. Don't take it seriously, okay?
You don't need to apologize. I knew what she said was a lie.
Like what?
She claimed you were lamenting because I'm away and you have to do chores. The reality is, I bet you're secretly celebrating, indulging in TV dinners and pizza while I'm away. You must be thinking it's lucky you get to eat all the unhealthy stuff, right?
But I did have a salad today, and I've been drinking the veggie juice as you instructed.
Good to hear. I'm not telling you not to eat what you like. I just want you to stay healthy and live longer together.
I know. I'm doing it for the same reason.
Thanks, son. Anyway, after chatting with your mom, I think we should speed up that plan.
Wait, did she say something outrageous?
She wants us to divorce.
Divorce? She can't make us do that. We're so in love.
I know, but let's skip the mushy stuff for now.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what she's planning to do, but she sounded determined to cause havoc. She declared with confidence that she had a plan.
When she gets like that, it's never good. Okay, got it. Let's fast track our plan then.
I'll talk to my boss about it too. Honey, be cautious.
Roger.
Hey, Addison. Got some exciting news for you. Exciting news? I'm getting a bad feeling about this. You're supposed to come back tomorrow, right? Yes. What about it? Well, I've cleaned out the place you were going to come back to. Excuse me? A low-educated, incompetent, going on an overseas business trip is just ridiculous. While you were gone, I trashed all your stuff, so don't bother coming back. You trashed my belongings? Did you break into my house? Used a spare key. Ryan must be busy at work, so he isn't here either. If that sweet boy was around, he would have suffered from heartache, so it worked out perfectly. No place for you when you come back. Don't ever get involved with Ryan and me again. I'm thrilled not to see you ever again. What? You saved me some trouble. Thank you so much. What are you talking about? I wasn't planning to go back there in the first place. Neither was Ryan. What do you mean? Ryan isn't coming back? What's going on? This is all you're doing. You've been disrespectful to me, calling me a low-educated incompetent, and you've been complaining about me working, giving an earful to Ryan. There were plenty of unpleasant remarks about me. So we have been planning to move far away. When you mentioned getting us divorced, we decided to execute our plan earlier. So Ryan doesn't live here anymore? Nope. Where is he then? He's in China. What the heck? I'll be working at this branch from now on. So we decided to settle here together. OMG, moving abroad without telling his mother? That can't be true. My son following a low-educated trashy wife like you. First of all, what about his job? He's a freelance programmer. He can work from anywhere. He'll be working from our new place from now on. He can work from anywhere? That's a lie. He's been going to work every day. That's because of you. What are you saying? He actually wanted to work from home. But if he was there, you constantly bothered him. You kept coming over and talking to him. So he started going to a co-working space every day. Come to think of it, he was always at home right after you guys got married. I thought he was taking a honeymoon leave. What's a honeymoon leave? There's no such thing. You keep calling me a low-educated incompetent, just pretending to be a professional. But you're the one who doesn't understand the essence of working, you know. So what? A wife doesn't need to know about working. You just have to manage the household, do chores, and take care of your husband. Teaching a crappy wife like you, who neglects the family to work and care for my darling son, is a legit duty of a mother. Do you know what Ryan dreamt of as a child? Oh, please, of course I do. He wanted to be a doctor. He mentioned he changed his mind midway through high school. He had to give up his dream because of you. No way. To get into medical school, he needed to study intensely. But whenever he was studying in his room, you would come in every 30 minutes and distract him. You even insisted he sleep early and turned off the lights at 9 p.m. You made it impossible for him to study effectively. So he had no choice but to give up his dream. That's a lie. I did it for his sake. What's more, after he gave up on medical school, you kept nagging him, saying being a doctor is lucrative, and that you'd support him if he tried again. He got fed up with that too. Since then, he aimed to work freely as a freelancer. That's how he became a programmer. That's made up. I never heard that from him. He's kind-hearted, so maybe he didn't want to hurt you. But even he reached his limit this time. This time? You said you were going to make us divorce. I knew you were up to something, but I never expected you to trash all my stuff. Glad I took action first. Both of you, come back right away. This is unacceptable. What's unacceptable? Deceiving me and running away together. Unforgivable. Breaking into someone's home and throwing away their stuff is pretty unforgivable, you know. I was going to throw them away so I don't mind, but I was planning to take them to a consignment store and give the profit to Mike as a gesture of gratitude. Wait, Mike? Why bring up my husband in this? We don't plan on returning to that house, so we asked him to take care of clearing it out. It was a sudden move, and we couldn't manage it ourselves. When we explained the situation to him, he kindly agreed to help. Hold on. Did you tell him about all this? Well, when you're asking for such a favor, it's only fair to explain the circumstances, right? Of course, I made sure to mention why we decided to escape from you and all the insults I've endured. Why would you do that to me? Now he must be angry with me. Oh, you know he's mad. So you do realize what you did was wrong, huh? Surprising that you have that much decency. Who knew? Stop laughing and help me. Tell him you made it all up and I haven't done anything wrong. Why do you sound so agitated? Can't take responsibility for your own actions? You know, he's so scary when he gets mad. Besides, he's already warned me when I made fun of your education before. He said he'll divorce me if I belittle you again. He told you that much, but you still couldn't stop picking on me. Isn't it kind of an addiction? You should take this chance to reflect and change that behavior. Oh no. Now I have great news for you. What? I have a bad feeling about this. Mike's about to arrive there. OMG, why? I told you I asked him to clear out the house, right? He mentioned getting some strong friends to help load furniture and take them to a consignment store. I think they're gym buddies. Those muscular guys? They're intimidating. Oh, wait. The truck's here. Oh no, I can't run away now. Well, make sure to reflect on your actions. Anyway, gotta go. Tessa got caught by Mike and his beefy friends. He was furious and confronted her with a divorce. After getting kicked out of the house, she's forced to work. and has started a part-time job as a supermarket cashier. Since she's never worked before, she's been rude to customers and coworkers, on the verge of getting fired. On the other hand, our new life in China has been quite comfortable without the meddling Tessa. Ryan works from home and helps with housework. If Tessa knew, she'd faint at the thought of him doing chores. But he says he enjoys this lifestyle and seems pretty happy.
Hey Janet, where are you now? Good morning, Susan. I'm on the train. What was that all about? What are you talking about? Breakfast. I've prepared it before I left. I know that. I'm talking about what you prepared. I made an omelette, a salad, and some fruit yogurt this morning. I don't feel like I had breakfast. It's like a kid's snack. I see. I try to keep the nutritional balance in mind, but I don't care what you think. Make something better. My husband was satisfied with that. I don't have much time in the morning. Huh? It's your fault that you don't have time, because you leave home to hang out in the morning. You're a housewife. You should take better care of your family. No. I'm not leaving to hang out. I'm going to work. It's true that I'm a housewife, but I also work, and it's impossible for me to do all the household chores by myself. Are you talking back to me? I didn't mean to. I don't need a daughter-in-law who doesn't stay home. I'll be getting off the train soon. I have to excuse myself. You're going to run away? It's not safe to use a phone while walking. Wait, I'm not finished talking with you. Do you realize what's going on in the house? It's not being cleaned properly. The laundry is piling up. Don't worry, I'll do it right when I get home. It's too late after you get home. This is what happens when you neglect what needs to be done first thing in the morning. I'm sorry, but I really don't have much time left, so if you'll excuse me... Why did Bob marry such an irresponsible woman? I'll teach you how to be a good wife later. Hurry up and come home. Do you understand? Answer me. Oh my god, ignoring your mother-in-law? You're such a cheeky daughter-in-law, aren't you? Janet, it's already past lunchtime. Why haven't you come home yet? It's because we didn't have a good breakfast. I'm starving and so is my husband. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. You sneak out of the house early in the morning and go wandering around. You're married, but you don't even try to take care of your family. You just waste your husband's money day after day after day. Just being 6 years older than Bob is bad enough. Why don't you do a little more housework? Janet! You are just hanging around anyway, so answer my calls. You shouldn't ignore my calls. Excuse me, I'm at work. Huh? I have told you many times that I am not a housewife. I work. The reason I am out every weekday afternoon is because I am at work. I do the housework after I get home, and I do extra on my days off. I mean, we've been living together for 2 months. Can't you just learn my routine? I'm warning you because I've learned. Just come home and do your chores. Do your duty as a wife. I'm going to a meeting now. Huh? A meeting? Yes, it's the monthly management meeting. I have some preparations to make, so if you'll excuse me. What are you talking about? How can there be a meeting if you're not working? Janet, cut it out. Bob, I have something important to tell you. Can I have a minute now?
Yeah, now is good.
I'm sorry to interrupt your work, but I felt like I had to tell you.
What?
You get a divorce right now.
What?
If you stay with that bad wife, I can see that you'll be unhappy.
Mom, what's going on? By bad wife, do you mean Janet?
Of course I'm talking about her. She cut corners for breakfast. She talks back to me, and she's hanging around when you are working so hard.
What?
I sent her a text message asking her to come home and do chores, and you know what her reply was? I have a meeting. How can a stay-at-home wife have meetings?
No, that's...
Actually, I've been talking with your father about the future, and we're thinking of putting something into action.
What thing?
That's a secret. All you have to do is follow our instructions. Don't worry. Oh, I guess you should get back to work. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Janet, I know you're probably at work, but if you notice this message, I'd like a reply.
Bob, what's wrong? I just left the office now, so I'm fine.
I see.
So, what is it?
I don't know what's going on either. I think my mom and dad are up to something, and...
What are they going to do?
I'm sorry, I don't know either. Mom called me during the day. She suddenly asked me to divorce you.
Divorce?
Yeah, and then she said she's going to do something. She won't tell me because it's a secret. She keeps telling me that you're supposed to follow directions and...
Oh, I see. I wonder what they're up to.
I'm sorry, I don't have much information. I tried to get a little more information out of her before I told you, but I thought it would look suspicious if I overdid it.
It's okay. A little heads up helps. Thanks for telling me.
I'm so disappointed with myself. They made a duplicate key and moved in with us because I wasn't paying much attention.
Well, I was surprised and I'm still not convinced, but we didn't have much choice. It was right after they had a fight with your sister-in-law and her husband, who they had originally been living with, and they got kicked out. Even though your parents were at fault, we couldn't have let them be homeless. If we had them kicked out and they got sick, it would have left us with a bad feeling.
But I hate myself for being controlled by my parents, who don't understand your work or your position, who have no intention of understanding you from the beginning. And I'm financially depending on you. I want to be more competent and I want you to become proud of me.
Bob.
Anything I can do, I want you to tell me.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. Well, let me know if you get any more information.
That's it?
You can't make a move without information. Well, I just want you to be careful that they don't find out that you're snitching for me. And since you're not on the radar of your parents, I think that's something you can certainly do.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, let's take it one step at a time.
Okay.
Bob, I'm calling to ask for a favor. Are you on your lunch break?
Oh, yeah.
There's a place I want you to go. I was wondering if you could stop by when you're out on sales calls.
Where should I go?
Go to the A real estate in front of the S station. I'm pretty sure it's near the company you work for.
Well, yeah, but why a real estate agency?
Well, you'll find out. I've already spoken with them, so just tell your name at the reception and they should be able to help you right away.
Okay, but not until after I've taken care of some business.
Yeah, as long as you get there today.
But why a realtor? Is there a problem?
Well, not really a problem. It's just some formalities that need to be taken care of. Don't worry, it's no big deal.
What kind of procedure?
I don't want to worry you, so I won't go into detail. It's just to make the house more comfortable.
You could have told me first. Are you hiding something from me?
I'm not hiding anything. You're a busy man. I just didn't want to worry you.
I appreciate that, but I'm still a little worried.
You're a worrier, aren't you? Don't worry. Anyway, if you go, it'll be taken care of.
Okay, I'll be there as soon as I finish my work.
Please do.
Janet, sorry, I know you're at work, but it's an emergency.
Bob, what's going on?
I need you to come to A real estate in front of S station as soon as possible.
What? Real estate agency? Why?
My mom and dad were thinking of doing something bad.
What?
Anyway, I want you to come. I'll fill you in on WhatsApp.
Okay. A station is less than a 10-minute cab ride away. I'll be on my way.
Sorry for the short notice. Thanks. I'm sorry you had to leave work earlier. I really appreciate it.
Not at all. In fact, I'm glad you were able to help us out with our plan.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. Ha ha ha.
Well, back to work for now. Just stick to the plan.
Okay. Hi, Mom. I just went to the realtor. It's all taken care of.
Good job, Bob. Hey, you must have been surprised, right?
Yes, I was. That was a hell of a surprise.
Yeah, I know, right? Actually, me and your father were going to complete the formalities and then let you know. I was told that I couldn't sign any contract without your consent, so...
It's against the law, of course. In the worst case scenario, you'll end up behind bars.
Oh no, good to know. Now that the formalities are over, now I have to get ready to move out.
About that, I know a guy in the transport company. I'll arrange the movers for the day of the move.
Oh, really?
Maybe I can get a discount.
Then I'll let you do it.
Sure, I'll take care of it.
Thank you. I can always count on you, Bob. Janet, I hope you're back home by now. I'm almost there. What is it? You can't go in the house. Go to your parents' house or stay at a business hotel today. Well, you can be homeless for the day. Ha ha ha. Huh? What do you mean? I've cancelled the lease on that house. What? Bob took care of all the formalities. What are you trying to say? Janet, you and Bob are getting divorced. Divorce? I'm sure you know that too. Our son's income allows us to live a luxurious life. But you skip chores and hang around every day. You're so cocky. We moved out and will dump you. Huh? Divorce and move out? You don't deserve a super elite son like Bob. Did he actually say that he wanted a divorce? No, he did not. What? You're trying to get him divorced while ignoring his own will? Because I don't have to ask. I'm his mother. I know he wants to leave you. Well, he is a kind boy. So I guess he couldn't bring that up. But if we separate you guys physically, it's done. Oh, I see. By the way, where are you now? In the car on the way to the new place. Bob's friend who runs a transportation business arranged a car for us. He's attentive. I see. Well, that's... By the way, do you know where you are going? Of course I do. We're heading to a nice house that Bob signed a contract for us. A nice house? We're going to live on the upper floor of an apartment with a beautiful night view. I'm looking forward to living there. That's great. Then I'm returning my husband who makes $3 a day. What? $3 a day? Well, if he really wants to divorce me... No, $3 a day. Don't lie to me. He is so elite that he's on the board of directors at his company. How is it possible for him to earn just $3 a day? I can understand if he's unemployed and has an allowance of $3 a day, but... Oh my, that's amazing. That's correct. Huh? He is unemployed right now. Huh? His previous company habitually flouts labor standards and he got sick, so I let him quit. Right now, he's attending a school to get his certain state certification. He brings his own lunch to school and I give him $3 a day for drinks and allowance. At the beginning of each month. This is what he asked for. Janet, that's enough. He is a board member of the company and he's been providing for us. That's me. Huh? Don't lie to me. You're just a housewife. Don't you think it's strange for a housewife to be out from early in the morning to late at night? Of course it's strange. You don't take care of the house. You hang around with your husband's money. That's why I'm trying to get you divorced. I have been a company executive before we got married. Huh? You didn't believe me when I told you before I got married. On the contrary, you agreed us to get married because you thought he became a board member. I also told you that if you would check the list of board members on the W Company website, my name would be there. You haven't checked it, have you? Oh my god, I can't believe it. I really did see your name. So, you finally looked at our website. Well, I guess it's a little late for that. You're the managing director of W Corp? Yes, I am. Company W is a pretty big company. How's it possible for someone your age to be the managing director of a company like that? By the way, my grandfather on my mother's side is the president. I'm going to be the next president. Huh? My parents worked for different companies. I, the granddaughter, am going to take over the company. How can you be a managing director and become the next president? So, Bob didn't pay for our living expenses since we started living together? No, I was paying for everything, including for you and your husband, who were both unemployed. Wait a minute. Then the lease contract for the apartment that I left to Bob. Oh, he called me just before signing the contract and told me what had happened. I did not sign the lease for the apartment, and I signed a contract for another apartment. What? Another? I mean the new apartment Bob and I are going to live in. Huh? What are you talking about? Bob is supposed to move in with us. But he's not with you right now, right? He's in a different car, but he must be following behind us. Is that so? Take a good look behind you. Oh no, I wonder how long we've been separated. Am I on the highway? Oh no, we're so far away. Why? The apartment we tried to sign up for must be in the same city. You just noticed that now? What is this? What you are heading for right now is... It's not an apartment, but a factory dormitory. What? Factory? Your uncle owns a factory, right? What? No way. Please tell your husband. You and your wife will be staying in the factory's dormitory. I beg your pardon? Good for you. You found a place to work and a place to live at the same time. Wait a minute. Why do I have to work at the factory? Because if you don't work, you can't live. And I'm moving into another house, and you won't have anyone to support you. But that doesn't mean... Give me a break. I hate that man so much. Oh, really? He's nice and wild. He's annoying. I heard your uncle lives right next to the factory. That's the worst. I have to live so close to my uncle, and we work at the same place. My uncle has been strict with me since I was a kid. He's always badgering me every time I see him. Well, good for you. Why? You have a strict uncle to watch over you. It's a good opportunity for you to improve your attitude towards life. Not good at all. Hey, please get us out of the car. Don't ask me. I keep asking the driver to get us out of the car, but he just ignores me. And I hate working at the factory. And I definitely don't want to live near my uncle. Don't you think it's better than being unemployed and becoming homeless? That is, if we move in with you guys in your new house. Absolutely not. What? Well then, I'll start unpacking while waiting for Bob, who's on his way here. Hey! Excuse me. Oh no, Janet! Bob should be here by now.
Yes, I'm almost there.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
By the way, I was surprised at that plan. I can only thank you for your quick thinking.
From now on, we are going to put our happiness first.
I'll study hard and get a certification for sure.
I'll be rooting for you. Bob, hey, answer me. It's not true that you're unemployed, right? You're not living with Janet, right? Bob, please come to save us. After that, my parents-in-law seemed to be trying to escape from the car, but they had already arrived at the factory. My uncle and the factory employees grabbed them and took them to the dormitory. They finally understood the situation they were in, and they finally became calm. Her uncle trained them and straightened them up. A strict work environment demanded discipline, hard work from early in the morning. Susan would sometimes call Bob in tears, telling him that she couldn't stand this kind of life and that she wanted to go home as soon as possible. But of course, he doesn't care. They brought this on themselves, so I hope that they will reflect on their past behavior and become independent. Bob was able to successfully obtain his certification and has been working hard at his new job. We would like to continue to support each other as a couple and live happily together.
Hey sis, how old are you now?
Dolly? I thought I hadn't heard from you in a while. What is it?
Just tell me, how old are you?
I'm 45.
Oh, that's right. Oh, thank God. It's not like I've lost my mind or gone back in time.
What do you mean?
Sis, you're getting married. Mom told me.
Oh my God. Mom told you? Yes, we're getting married in 3 months. My fiancé and I went to our parents' house yesterday to tell them.
This is so big. Why aren't you inviting me?
On the contrary, why do you think I would invite you? The family has severed all ties with you.
That's just a front for Dad. Mom still calls me family. We keep in touch.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's not important right now. I heard that your fiancé is a young, handsome, 25-year-old CEO. You're a 45-year-old hag, and you're marrying a guy 20 years younger than you.
I know being called an old hag is hard to hear, but yes, he's 25.
That's the same age as me. Why would an ugly old hag like you, unsold merchandise, be able to marry a young, good-looking CEO? I don't get it. I mean, you're just trying to get back at me, aren't you?
Pardon me? What do you mean?
I'm a real daughter born from Mom and Dad, but you're only half-blood because you're the daughter of Dad and his ex-wife. You were jealous of me because I'm young, pretty, brilliant, and loved by Mom and Dad. So you whispered some lies into Daddy's ears and got me kicked out of the house. And you weren't satisfied with that. So you are going to marry a handsome CEO the same age as me, as if to show me how it's done. You have such a warped personality.
I'm not trying to show off at all. I wasn't going to tell you about the marriage because you were kicked out of the house. I didn't know Mom was taking your side.
She always said you're too old to be her daughter. She and you don't have a drop of blood between you. It's only natural that she'd love me, right?
Oh, is that so? I didn't know she thought that. Well, when we get married, we'll build our own house near his office and move. And I'll be away from your mother, so I don't care.
Why are you acting so smug? That's the kind of thing that has always pissed me off. If you're going to do this, there are things I can do as well. Sis, only 1 month left until the wedding. I have an unfortunate announcement for you.
What is it?
I'm in a soft and loving relationship with my sister's fiancé.
Huh?
He's 25 years old, the president of the company, Shane Greenwood. He's in a hotel with me right now. To be frank, I don't want to be disturbed by an older, haggard sister who is trying to get her hands on the goods. I heard that you work for Shane's company. I don't know how you got promoted, being an incompetent old hag. I'm amazed that you seduced the president of the company and got engaged to him. But I'm not going to let you get away with that. From now on, if I want to, I can tell Shane to fire my sister. If you think you can fight me just because you're the manager, you're gravely mistaken.
What are you talking about? If it is my fiancé, he's with me right now. Who's Shane Greenwood? What? Are you trying to deceive me by pretending you don't know him? That's the kind of tactic you've been using to win Shane over, isn't it? But that kind of strategy won't work on me. You should know your place, you 45-year-old hag, marrying a handsome 25-year-old CEO. Shane said he would switch to me the moment he saw me. An old lady being the wife of the president is hilarious. He said he'd rather marry me, someone younger than him. Oh, is that so? I don't know what it is, but why don't you do whatever you want? I'll have the wedding as planned. There's no way you can do that. You're just in shock because you lost your fiancé to me. That must be why you can't think straight. My poor sister. Seriously, you're hilarious. Hey, sissy! Are you really going to have your wedding today? You're going to have a wedding even though you were rejected? That's amazing. You're so miserable. Are you crazy? I mean, you know the groom isn't going to be there, but you're just going through with the ceremony? That's so scary. Is it like they're going to use a mannequin as the groom? That's even more scary. Dolly, what are you babbling on about? If it's the groom you're talking about, we came to the wedding hall together, and we're both in the middle of getting ready. What? Even meeting up with a mannequin and getting ready? If you're that delusional, you're in trouble. Delusional? I mean, come on. Shane is with me right now. Oh, is that a fact? That's why you have no choice but to cancel the wedding today. No, your relationship and my marriage have nothing to do with each other. Huh? Are you a sore loser? I'm telling you, your groom is with me. There's no way you can have a wedding under the circumstances. It's not fair for an ugly hag to get engaged to a handsome executive. That's why I took him away from you. I get to be the boss's wife too, killing two birds with one stone. By the way, I went to City Hall yesterday to register our marriage, so you won't be able to take him back. As for me, I would have been happy to wait until after I watched your wedding ceremony get destroyed. But Shane said we should do it as soon as possible. I'm really loved. I see. So that's what you were aiming for. So take that. If you figured it out, why don't you call off the wedding? No matter how you try, there won't be a groom. It's really miserable to be dealing with a mannequin. I showed you what reality is. You're still being so full of delusion, you're scary. You're the one who's delusional, Dolly. Huh? My fiancé is called Roy Greenwood. You married Shane Greenwood. He's not the boss. What? What do you mean? Your fiancé is Roy Greenwood, not Shane? Shane Greenwood is my fiancé's twin brother. He was a former presidential candidate. What do you mean, former? He was going to be the president because he was the eldest son. But he was found to have embezzled company money and used it to play around with women, so he was eliminated as a candidate. At the same time, the father of the Greenwood family cut him off, so now he is an ordinary person with no connections to the company. He's my husband's twin brother, but when I first heard his name, it didn't ring a bell. It's because his existence has been erased from the Greenwood family's black history so that no one would talk about it. What? Embezzlement? Playing with women? That's a lie. He's not that kind of person. He says he's the president and he makes a lot of money. He also knows that you are the general manager. My name is on the company website. That's why he saw it and said it at random, didn't he? I heard he's always been good at lying to deceive women.
That's not...
I'm a customer relations person, so I put my name on the website for the customer's trust. I can't believe he would misuse my name for something like this. Maybe we need to rethink our policies a little.
A lie. If that's the case, then where is Shane making his money from? If he's not the boss, how can he buy me bags and stuff? He's always at home. It's not like he works at a normal company.
If you're always at home, aren't you a recluse? Maybe the money comes from other women paying. Or maybe he's won some money betting or something. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't work for our company. You must be crazy to think that a man who is always at home is the boss.
I thought that because he's the boss, he can make money even if he lets employees do the work.
I'm sorry, but being a boss is not such a leisurely job. Shane was kicked out of his parents' house. Roy, who wasn't supposed to be president, took over. He was working like a madman. He was trained from the ground up as an ordinary employee, making the rounds of clients, talking directly to customers, and so on. In the process, I had the opportunity to mentor him as a supervisor. That's how we got to know each other and we became lovers.
I don't want to hear about the old lady's relationship. I mean, come on, Shane isn't the president? In fact, it's a lie that he might be a recluse, isn't it?
Come on, why don't you ask him then?
It's too late for that. He and I got registered yesterday.
I remember you said he wanted to get married as soon as possible. Maybe he wanted to do it because he didn't want you to find out the truth and reject him.
That's not true. You're lying because you're jealous of me. You're an old woman. You're doing this because you're jealous of me being so young, just like you kicked me out of the house so long ago.
Oh, you're talking about the old days? As I recall, there was a big row when you stole my boyfriend. Dad got mad and kicked you out of the house. A womanizing husband and a predatory woman who repeatedly tries to steal my boyfriends. I think they make a perfect couple.
I would never accept that. Trade husbands with me.
I'm sorry, but...
Now I'm angry. I'm gonna tell Dad about what happened today. You're the daughter of Dad's last wife. Maybe you think your dad is the only one who will stand by you. I'm going to go on a rampage and cry to him that you were bullying me.
Do you think you can do that now? Do you know where your father is now?
It's your wedding, right? Mom and I didn't get invitations. It's really rude to only invite Dad. But it's a nearby wedding anyway, right? It'll be easy to find if I look for it, and I'm going to get in and ruin the ceremony.
The wedding is in Australia.
What? You're kidding? An overseas wedding?
Not just the wedding. I told you we were going to build our house near his company when we got married, right? The headquarters is actually in Australia. We're getting ready to build our own home, and Dad will be living here from now on.
What?
You and your mother didn't know that Dad was secretly preparing to move out?
It's true. Dad's room is empty. Why did this happen?
Why don't you ask yourself why this happened? Well, I have to get ready for the wedding. Bye.
Sis, wait a minute. I got married to a recluse. I'm not going to let you live a luxurious life abroad. Hey, answer me.
My husband and I were blessed by our trusted relatives and colleagues. We had a happy wedding in Australia, and we are still living in Australia. My father has long been aware that my mother was secretly communicating with Dolly, whom she should have disowned. I am enjoying a relaxing life in retirement, free from the selfishness of mother and sister. Shane has been a recluse ever since he was kicked out of his parents' house and has been living off his women. He had 3 other women in addition to Dolly. Dolly wanted to divorce him, but Shane threatened her, and she had no choice but to stay married to him. Furthermore, Dolly was also asked by her mother to help her financially. It seems that her face and personality have become distorted due to stress and anger from all sides. Even though she is still in her late 20s, she has become old, looking like she is in her 40s.
Hey, Katie, what's with this pile of letters? Oh, sis, what do you mean? They're invitations to my and Sam's wedding. I answered that I'm not attending the other day. I don't understand why you would send over 20 invitations to the same wedding. Our mailbox is overflowing with your invitations alone. This is just a new kind of harassment. It's annoying. Cut it out. Huh? I should tell you to cut it out. What? I went to the trouble of inviting you to my and Sam's wedding, but you reply with a no-show. You don't know your place. You're the one who doesn't know your place. I hope you haven't forgotten what you did to me a year ago. Oh, you mean the things I did to your fiancé, Sam? That's right. So why would I do that? Why would I go to the wedding of the people who betrayed me? Why, because you're the bride's sister, of course. Ah, could it be that you still have lingering feelings for Sam? Of course not. I mean, it's already been a year since then. I can't believe you're still whining about it. The ugly sister who hasn't found a partner since being dumped by Sam. I guess she's still holding on. If she were a normal girl, she would have found a new love by now. And she's already forgotten about Sam. I feel sorry for ugly girls. Shut up. That's right. Sam runs his own company too. I'm sure it must have been frustrating for you to lose your shot at a successful businessman. Ugly girls are more likely to be single forever if they miss their chance to get married. I mean, you're still single. No wonder you're so obsessed with your ex-fiancé. I said that's not true. But Sam is my husband, right? I won't give him to you. I don't want him. I don't want a man who's cheating on me with your dirty hands all over him. Huh? I would just push him away as fast as I could, even if he returned to me begging, so don't worry and get married. You're so frustrated saying that, aren't you? We'll make sure you're at our wedding, sister. I'll keep sending you invitations, 100 or 1,000, until you say you'll attend. Stop it. I told you it's annoying. I'm never going to your wedding. If you want to send invitations, go ahead. I don't care if the postage costs you a ton of money. See you later. Hold on. Mom told me. Seriously? Why are you coming to my wedding? Well, I had prepared a seat for the possibility that you might come. But you know what? You had declared that you would never go to the wedding. What's going on? Did you finally get over your embarrassment? I wasn't planning on coming either. I'm not coming for you. I'm coming by invitation from the groom's side. Huh? Groom's side? Oh, I see. So Sam invited my sister for me, whom he loves so much. Oh, Sam is so wonderful. What a nice surprise. That's not what happened. I can't believe that you would come only if Sam invited you. Actually, you came because you wanted to see Sam, didn't you? I don't even want to see his face. I accepted the invitation out of necessity for business reasons. Oh, I don't need that excuse. Well, I guess that means we have everybody. Thanks for coming to my wedding, ugly sister. You poor loser who lost Sam to me. I guess you'll be single for the rest of your life. I'll show you our happy wedding right in front of you, and you can show me your ugly, frustrated loser face, won't you? Hey, sis. What was that all about at the wedding? Don't do anything embarrassing, because ugly people without self-respect are really gross. What are you talking about? Sis, you were sitting next to President Marital the whole time. Yes, I was sitting there. What's wrong with that? President Marital is the president of a business partner of Sam's company. You know about that? Yuck, you are seriously indiscreet. What? I know you're trying to get more money than Sam, but it won't work. President Marital just got married last month. You're so desperate to get married that you're even going after a married man. I'm not that unprincipled. But I'm sure you'll be single for the rest of your life, so don't ever go fishing for ugly men. And you're fishing for men at your sister's wedding? You're so desperate, it's pathetic. I'm not fishing for a guy. The atmosphere of the ceremony was really bad because of the presence of an insane woman like you. It was a wedding ceremony, but everyone was so tense because of you. But I'm already married. What? My sister is married? Ah, that's an ugly lie. You're too miserable, so stop it. Aren't you ashamed of yourself for telling such an obvious lie? You should ask your husband if it's true. What? Sam? Sam invited President Marital to the wedding today with his wife, but it was obvious he said that without knowing who his wife was, so President Marital told Sam that he had to let him know. My wife is your ex-fiancée, your bride's sister, but you really don't mind me attending, do you? Huh? My sister is President Marital's wife? What, you haven't noticed all day? It's normal, the order of seating at the ceremony, the way the conversation went. I'm President Marital's wife. How could I not know about this? Well, I've never shown my face to anyone in the business world, and the wedding was overseas, and the only people invited were the groom's family. I'm not listening to you. I had estranged myself from our parents, who of course took your side when I broke off my engagement a year ago. If it weren't for the wedding today, I wouldn't have told them anything. You sent out dozens of invitations, and our mailbox got flooded with them. Not only was it bothering me, it was bothering my husband. We even discussed the idea of both of us not attending the wedding. But then, when Sam himself directly invited me, I thought it would not be right for me as the president's wife to refuse the invitation. So, we decided to attend together as a couple. What the hell? When Sam heard about it, he said he thought it was someone else who just happened to have the same name as mine, and he was quite upset. But I guess he couldn't back down since he invited other executives to attend the wedding with their wives. I guess he had no choice but to agree to my presence. What the hell? That's so unfair. President Marital is a successful businessman and a very popular, handsome guy. He's the president of a company that's so big it's not even worth mentioning. I was so envious when I heard he got married. Why, of all people? Why my ugly sister of all people? It's not fair. It's not fair that you're happier than me. Katie, what are you saying? Today is your wedding to Sam. You're the bride, so don't make such misleading remarks. It's not misleading. I mean, if he's okay with a girl as fat as you, then he'll be all over me, the beautiful one. What? An ugly sister is not suitable for President Marital. People would say that it's impossible for the wife of the president of the company to be ugly. President Marital's reputation would be ruined because of you. I have to save President Marital before he becomes a laughingstock. What are you talking about, Katie? It's not too late. I'm going to tell Sam that I'm going to marry President Marital after all. Why? Why didn't President Marital fall for me? That's absolutely strange. It works so easily with Sam. I'm definitely a better girl than you. You know what? It's rare to find a cheater like Sam who had a fiancé and succumbs to another woman's seduction. Normally, engaged or married men don't fall for someone that easily. But it's me. I'm the one who's trying to seduce him to marry me, so it's strange that he didn't fall for it. You're sabotaging me the way ugly people do, aren't you? What does that even mean? You're jealous of my beauty, and you're making it so that President Marital won't notice his true love. Because you fight dirty, you'll remain ugly for the rest of your life. Well, I guess it's because if you fight me properly, you won't be able to compete with beautiful me. Why don't you get a grip on reality? There isn't a single man in the world who would want to be with you, ugly sister. You're doomed to be single and lonely for the rest of your life. Hey, don't you realize it yet? What? Who the hell do you think is President Marital? Who is he? He's the president of a business partner of Sam's company. That's not what I meant. Well, he's a lot more sophisticated now that he's changed from glasses to contacts, and he's changed his last name too. What? Are you trying to say that I knew him a long time ago? Yes, that's right. Don't be coy. Tell me. His last name used to be Romano. Romano? His full name is Paul Romano. He took the Martelli surname because he was adopted by a distant relative in the Martelli family who wanted an heir to the company. As a result, he became Paul Martelli, president. Romano? The dork with the glasses? I don't want to call him that, but yes. It's that Paul Romano, the guy you spent the last 3 years of high school harassing, calling him a loser and a nerd. No way. I heard that Paul was really bullied by you and your friends. I know how cruel you are. You lost any likable qualities a long time ago. I mean, it was a long time before I could stand up to you. Even if we ignore what happened in high school, even now you're doing things like sending all those invitations to me. I realized you're a little crazy. All my important mail was getting buried. What are you going on about? And the reason why the atmosphere at your wedding ceremony was so tense, the one everyone was staring at, was you, not me. Huh? Why should I be the one getting stared at? I'm the bride. I should be congratulated. I told the guests about your high school antics. It was a little revenge from me and my husband, but I didn't think you'd go even further than that. You ended up breaking off the engagement yourself. I'm really laughing my ass off. What the? Oh my God, I get it. I'll give up this time, but don't think you've won. Next time, I'm going to get a better man than President Marital. Sam broke off our engagement, but there are so many better men out there. Maybe next time I'll get a Middle Eastern oil tycoon. Can you imagine? With my cuteness, I'm enough to win over any celebrity or handsome man. You should be the one to face reality. Reality? Whose fault was it that your engagement ended yesterday? Why don't you blame yourself for that? If you hadn't gotten engaged to a worthless man like Sam, or married President Marital in the first place, I wouldn't have had to think about my sister's life. Is that an escape from reality? Don't tell me that you're serious. What? It's your fault for breaking off the engagement on the day of the wedding because you were the bride and got distracted by another man. Sam is an idiot and a cheater, but if even a moron like that dumps you, you really are beyond help. Huh? If you don't understand, take some time and really think about it. Bye. Sis, the money for the canceled wedding. It's $200,000 total. You need to pay everything as soon as possible. Why me? It's your fault this happened. I'll tell you where to transfer the money later, so do it properly. Oh my God, you're not sorry for anything, are you? Why should I be sorry? The person who is charged $200,000 is you, not me. You're the one who's responsible for what happened. What? What? You're putting the blame on me? I didn't do anything wrong. You were like that a year ago when you stole Sam from me. It's my fault for having him taken from me because I'm ugly, right? Of course, there was no way you could get away with such a messed up reason. Sam paid me damages for you too, right? Don't bring up something that's over now. I'm just stunned that you didn't learn anything from your past mistakes. Huh? If you betray your spouse or fiancé, you deserve to be sued for damages. It's common sense. Enough. Realize that you're a crazy person. What? A pretty girl like me is allowed to do whatever she wants. You're an ugly bitch. Common sense? I'm telling you, ugly people are not even human. Who do you think you are to lecture me, a beautiful woman, like you're a human being? Could you say the same thing in front of a lawyer? Would you say the same thing in front of the police? If we were to go to court, could you say the same thing in a legal forum? What? In this world, the basic rule is to say sorry when you do something wrong. If you do something that can't be solved by just saying sorry, alimony, settlements, damages, you have to apologize by means of money. That's what you're being asked to do now. Well, a year ago, Sam took care of it, but that's not going to happen this time. Even our father and mother don't have $200,000 to spare. They said they couldn't cover for you this time and told everyone else not to help you out. So, that's why I'm telling you to. You still don't get it? I'm the wife of President Martelli who you caused trouble. A year ago, you stole my fiancé from me. You shouldn't need me to tell you that I would never help you out. I don't need you to tell me that, but how can I pay $200,000? You should understand that too, sister. It's normal for those who have money to pay. That's why I'm telling you. Why are you being so naive? All you have to do is work. What? You said, I'm beautiful and I'm going to be a millionaire, so I don't have to work. It's your own fault that you still haven't had a single job in your mid-20s. No matter how delusional you are, the reality is that no one can help you anymore. So, just get a job and work. That's the only option you have right now. Me? Work? No. Do I have to work? I'm supposed to be a millionaire, aren't I? I'm supposed to be the wife of a CEO or an oil tycoon and live without working for the rest of my life, right? If you haven't become one already, I don't think you'll ever be a millionaire. Give it up and go to work. What? I have nothing else to say, and I'm not going to help you. Bye now. Work? How? Katie, who had never worked before, jumped at a job she found on the internet that would allow her to earn money easily, but, naturally, there was no way it was a legitimate job. A few months later, she was arrested by the police for being involved in a crime. When the employees found out that his ex-fiancé had become a criminal and that he had been having an affair with me and my sister, Sam was dismissed from his position as president of the company and is now a low-wage earner. He is now working a low-paying job. He contacted me and my husband for money, but we both blocked him. Then the letter attacks on our home started, perhaps imitating Katie, so we moved out as quickly as possible. Since then, our days have been peaceful.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.